Okay. Action. You see that what I want to get.
You're welcome to your favorite show, Your Take. And I have the privilege to speak with the brain behind the movie. Interesting movie, you know that? Ben's View. Mr. Oti, he has joined me here. In a bit, we'll start our conversation. But before that, let me remind you that if you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the time. Subscribe to our channel, please. Click on the notification icon to get alert on our update. And of course, share our content for the world to get to know what we are doing here. My name is Louise Bequin, and of course you know it, that you can call me the PDF. But if today happens to be the first time that you're joining us here, then quickly, before we start, get to know that your comments are welcome. So leave your comment at the comment section, and we would highly appreciate it. But let it be related to the conversation that we are going to have. And as I have already indicated, I have the privilege to speak with the brain behind the movie Men's View. Mr. Oti, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm also fine. Could this be the haircut for the Christmas?
Well, kind of. I'm just trying to look a bit fresh. It doesn't kill, doesn't hurt nobody, so it is what it is.
That is what you think, that it doesn't kill anybody. Perhaps somebody is also crashing. Crashing can kill.
Well, I hope you let me know.
So you ready? You ready to receive someone?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, so we can give your telephone number down there.
If you want to.
Should he mention the telephone number? I'm sure you are interested in that, but that will be later. So let's get into our conversation for today. We're looking at Men's View. And since you are the brain behind the project, I would want you to help us appreciate some background information about the movie.
Okay. Men's View is a project that, has a lot to do with the dynamics between men and women, especially when it comes to dating, relationships, and possibly marriage and that kind of thing. Before we embarked upon it, we did some research because, mind you, when it comes to movie productions, we don't just want to produce anything. We believe it's relevant when you produce content which people can relate to, people are familiar with, and which carries something of a message, can impact society. So we were kind of conducting a bit of research, like I made mention of, on YouTube, and one thing we came across was a lot of podcasts and talk shows were kind of doing this, then examining the dynamics, currently when it comes to relationship between men and women. And we thought, okay, this looks, like something that we can also adapt to and possibly create a project on and get something out there and also get a message out there. Because, if it's trending, then it's something people can relate to. And of course, if you come out with a final product, people are already like, okay, I'm in touch with this, and then, it can sell. Because when it comes to movie productions, if you are not making money, you're crippling yourself in a sense. Movies are as good as the budgets that is kind of allocated to them. So, that's one of the motivating things behind Men's View. It's like, we saw that, okay, this is trending online, so yes, it can be made into a project. And then, of course, also, it was not just only we're trying to make money, but we also perceive we can put a message out there, of course, when it comes to men and women, because again, based on the research that we carried out, we felt that the dynamics between men and women when it comes to the dating market, women are exposed to quite a lot when they are young, and we, just by listening to these talk shows and podcasts and our own personal experiences, because of course with the crew, most of us are guys, that's one aspect of which the crew people bought into, producing this project. We realized that young guys tend to be quite naive when it comes to dating ladies. Of course, if you are a young lady out there, you're attractive, men will approach you. The same is not true for young men. Women tend not to approach. It's more of what men approaching women. So, we thought, okay, then we can also put out some messages out there, educate young men, because men's view, the views of men when it comes to women and the dynamics in the relationships. Yeah.
So in the course of researching, would you want to tell us that you didn't cancel anything like adults' view, women's view, children's view, queen's view, king's view? Why men's view?
I thought that title will be quite unique. It's like as soon as someone goes men's view, then it's kind of challenging, especially if you're a female. I remember with some of the auditions even we did, we had talking to ladies when it came in, some of them were a bit, confrontational. I'm just being honest here. It's like men's view, why not women's view? We're like, well, ladies, this is men's view. We feel it's important to let women know what men think, our interest, because oftentimes, when we approach a lady, she tends to let you know what she wants. And then she may go like, I'm not saying all women, but of course, she lets you know right from the start, this is what I want. Now, as a man, what do you want? Because both sides of the equation have to be, if I can use that expression, have to be fulfilled, have to be satisfied. So we thought it makes sense that men's view, you hear the title men's view, and then of course, when you get to watch the movie, you get to understand what men in the current dating market are dealing with, and their concerns, their interests. Of course, if I can just use this example, I remember talking to a girl, we're doing a little tester kind of thing, and I asked her, what do you think is on a guy's mind when he asks for your phone number? You don't know him, or maybe you meet him out on the beach, something, and he looks at you, oh, hello lady, blah, 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 asks for your number. What do you think is on his mind? And some of them are like, or quite a few of them are like, maybe he wants to get to know me. And I'm like, if you know men very well, it might sound really crude, what I'm about to say. Most men, they get to see a pretty girl and it's that physical attraction. It's sex on his mind. I'm not trying to be politically correct, if I can use that expression again, but that is how a lot of men, I do believe I'm point on when I say it's sex on his mind. That's how men, we see, we're attracted. I want to get to know her. Sex is on my mind. If you bring more to the table in terms of your character, virtue, all those a few other things men want, then he's thinking, okay, I can work with her. I can keep with her. We can build something. But initially, that physical attraction, it's what men tend to be about. See her, she's attractive. That's on my mind. Mm. Yeah.
Ms. Oti, I have had encounter with movie producers, and there are some people that they use their personal life experience to come up with a movie. And listening to what you were telling us, can we say that in a way the movie has got something to do with your personal experience?
Well, I would say probably, okay. I think, yeah.
Okay. Broken heart?
No, not broken heart. No, not broken heart, of course. Yes. I'm not going to deny it. It's happened.
You've had your share.
Yeah, I've had my share. But it builds you. But I think it's not just my personal experience, but like I said, we did quite a bit of research. So it's just by talking to guys and ladies, we can find trends which are happening. And, it's not just my experience. there's a couple other experiences,
that you put together.
Yeah.
That makes it interesting. I can see that.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about what is in the movie, going forward, what the movie seems or seeks to portray in our environment or in our setting so far as our men and women relationships are concerned.
Okay, let me start off first with the ladies. At the beginning of the movie, we introduce people to certain scenes on the beach in which we're interviewing ladies. It's like you get to find out what women want. The norm for most young ladies is like they want a man that can take care of them. They want a man who is confident. They want a man who can lead. A man. That is what a man must lead. In most cases, you have to be able to protect her. That is leadership. So we get to understand what women want. And if you really read between the lines, you will understand that, women tend to have, or can I say most women tend to have a type which is kind of uniform. It's kind of, that's what most women want. They're looking at this kind of guy. And most of the women want that kind of guy. Yes. I think, because when you talk about being successful, protective, those are attributes which, like in the movie, we use a term high value man. Most women tend to want that kind of guy. So we realize women are moving in that direction, that high value man kind of thing. But then let's also look at educating women that if you want that high value man, then most likely you're going to have to make some concessions, because a high value man has what? A monopoly. It's like a high value man in a town. A lot of ladies are after him, trying to get with him, trying to interact with him, trying to build a relationship with him. He's kind of spoiled for choice. And what happens when you have demand and supply? If you get where I'm going, there's a lot of demand for this high. So he's going to be like, well, you're going to have to make some concessions. This is what I want. I have more leverage because I am a high value man and I'm more in demand. So men's view, if ladies, when it comes out and they watch it and they are not too offended, you get to understand that if you are dealing with a certain kind of man, there are certain sacrifices you're going to have to make. You see, a high value man is quite different from the average guy. With the average guy, if a lady is dealing, you can say, oh, okay, relationship is going to be 50-50, that kind of thing. But when you're dealing with a high value man, it's different. You see, he's bringing so much more to the table. He has leverage. So it's like you're going to have to give ground. Yes. It may be that, he's going to be probably having a woman on the side, but you are his main woman. Yes. It says what it is. So you see, it has a bit of a message for the ladies, reading between the lines, and you put your emotions aside. Ladies, you are going to have to make some concessions when it comes to that high value man, because it says what it is. He's bringing more to the table. He has more leverage. It cannot be 50-50. If a woman wants a leader in a relationship, because I believe when women in the dating game, when women are going in, or a young girl wants a partner, she's looking up the social economic ladder. She's not going to date down. Women tend not to date down, but men date down. You can have a very rich man, and what is he going to do? He'll pick a lady below his status. He doesn't mind. So far as she's attractive, she meets his requirements, he's fine. But with ladies, you need to have some clouds. It's not just, you just can't walk into a picture just like that and, you're a nice guy. No, it doesn't work like that. That's why we had Brifort's law in there. It explains a bit more in detail.
We'll touch on that,
okay,
because I've realized that dominates in the movie. But you made mention of a controversial point.
Okay, did I?
That is, it cannot be 50-50, Mr. Oti. What do you mean by that statement? It cannot be 50-50.
Okay. I think I've heard this expression. Maybe you have heard it. Like, a lady will go, I'm independent, I don't need no man, I'm empowered. That's fine. You come into a relationship and you try and tell the man that, it's 50-50. At times I like to think of things like this. When it comes to, we start dating, for example, 50-50. Are you going to be sharing the bills with the man when you're gone out for dinner? Maybe like 10 dates or something. Is it going to be 50-50 throughout? I don't think most women will like that. Most women will be like, no, the man must pay, right? I think that's the norm. I'm not saying all women are like that. If you're in a relationship with a man and it boils down to, security. Let's use security for example, right? We're using security. And one day you're at home and maybe thieves break into the house, 50-50. Okay, maybe it's just a hypothetical thing. On Monday, thieves broke into the house. The man is expected to go down there or like head out and protect the woman, right? 50-50. What about if I say on Thursday, my dear lady, it's your turn. You have to go out and protect me. It's 50-50, right? It doesn't work. When it comes to relationships, I believe if most women are very honest, they want a man who is ready to lead. If the man is leading, it cannot be 50-50. Some women might be like, oh no, we don't, that sounds a bit misogynistic, that kind of, no, it's not, it's just being realistic, as to our biology. Men are built to be protected. We should be able to protect the woman and cater to the needs. We see, it's like we have different roles.
So it cannot be 50-50.
It cannot be 50-50.
Who is supposed to go beyond the 50%?
I feel men have to bring more to the table. It's just standard. It's like men, again, I don't mean to sound too crude or crass or whatever, but men provide. We make stuff. We provide stuff. And women extract. Men bring resources and women extract resources, because think about it. She's going to be the mother of your kids. There's going to be a period in time when she's pregnant, she's carrying your baby. I mean, even move away from...
so it's our baby. Our baby.
Okay.
Not his baby.
Oh, okay, our baby. Our babies. You should be, as a man, you should be able to provide for her. You think about it again like this. You're dating a girl, you want to marry her. Her parents are going to be interested in your potential to be able to provide for her. Her father and mother have been doing that. They have a roof over her head, taking care of her, providing for her needs. They don't just want any man to come take their daughter, the flower of the family, away, and then you cannot provide for her basic needs. I think it's just a norm. Men must provide more. That is a man's role. That's what I believe in. A man should provide more, and a woman also brings what she brings to the table in terms of being a good wife, a good mother, what the man wants, what works for him, and of course, in turn, it also works out for her. So that you build, there should be harmony. Men and women are different. Please, we should not, I think feminism came along and it's like what a man can do, a woman can do, all that kind of stuff. Well, forgive me, I think it's nonsense.
To be any lame.
Yes, we are different.
Now, after that interaction that you had with the ladies, what would you say that the contemporary lady would want to bring to the table when she's ready to enter into a relationship?
Let me try and answer that question as in what she should bring.
Okay.
I think probably that's the best way I can answer it, because
what she should bring.
What she should bring.
I put it that way because if I want you to also get me, if you say that what she should bring, you are likely to, in a way, put them in a corner that you would expect them to do what perhaps you don't know they go through or what they can provide. That's why I say that after that interaction with them, what would they want to bring? But I think with this, you are likely to also bring in your experience because you've observed and you've experienced a lot. So blend it for us, Mr. Oti.
Let me be, I'll be quite honest. Regarding the interviews that we carried out, we were kind of focusing more on, it was more on questions like, what are you expecting from a prospective partner? Someone you'll be willing to settle down with. So most of them were just ready to air their opinions as in what they expect from men. A few of them dropped little hints like, oh, yeah, I'll be ready to cook for him, cater for him, But I think also in other experiences, of course, related to these interviews, I felt that a lot of young women were not really in touch with what men truly want.
Yeah. Ignorant.
Yes, I think a lot of ladies, Again, I'm not saying all ladies, but a lot.
Take it
We're
easy.
more focused on what they want. And I think that is why I put it like men's view is necessary, because when you're dealing with a woman, automatically, if she's engaging or getting into a relationship with you, you're going to have to meet some requirements. When you don't meet those requirements, it's not going to happen. So, as a man, you must focus on what? Bringing something of value to the table. That's why we have to expect a high value man. If it's money, a house, car, security for her, that's what women are looking for. They find attractive. Unless women are going to say that is not what they are looking for. But again, based on the research, I think we are a bit spot on if we say that is what women value. Of course, you must be reasonably good looking. But I think it's more, the onus of focus for women is more on, value. Money, security, a house, a roof over her head, and she's feeling, yes, I can have a future with this guy. Of course, you shouldn't be a maniac or some crazy accident. Yeah.
Now, let's touch on what they should bring on board.
Okay.
What should they bring on board? The ladies.
What do you think they should bring on board? Let me throw one back at you before
All right. I know somebody watching has something special for us. What is your take? This is your take, and we are interested in your take. So leave your take at the comment section below, and we would highly appreciate your take. But before you do that, if you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the time. I'll go house. Subscribe to our channel. Click on that notification icon so that you get an alert on what we're doing, and share our content for the world to also get to know what we are doing here. We aim to promote healthy relationships, you know that. Mr. T is here with me. He is the brain behind the movie Men's View, and today he is educating us. He's telling us more. Why the movie? Why the title? What the movie seeks to achieve? And what even motivated him? Did he do that because of looking at or experience that he had? He has stated that he has already had his share. But Mr. T, you asked back, what do I think women should bring on board? You said that women extract and men produce. What I have observed so far, growing up, is that women are deemed to be like incubators. Whatever you give to her, she multiplies it and she brings it back to you. So, to me, I think whatever that we give to them, they're supposed to bring it back to the table, multiplied.
Yeah.
This is what I think women should bring on the table.
But then, that's kind of vague. Okay, let me go into specifics.
That is what I want you to say.
I think, and I hope I'm able. I can speak for all, or for most men in this regard. It's like I think men value a woman who is ready to work with him regarding whatever plan he has for his future. So if a man wants some peace of mind, he does not want a promiscuous woman. I think that is something that is really, really important. I would like to stress this. I think most men do not find it comfortable when you realize their partner has a lot of bodies. When I say bodies, you've had a lot of relationships, a lot of sexual experiences. So I think men value things like that. A woman who is virtue, she must be willing to be ready to be a wife, be a mother, and ready to augment, whatever he has, his plan for the future. So it's quite simple. Other things come into play, but yes, a man wants peace of mind because men have to go out there so much more so than women to try and tame the world. He doesn't want to come back and then also have to battle or compete with this woman. He wants a partner, but he needs respect from that woman. I think some people outline things that men want respect a lot from women, and women want love and affection from men. Men really, really thrive. We want that respect, whether the man enjoys it when his woman respects him in private and in public.
We've heard from the brain behind the movie, Men's View. There's something that I think the movie based on, a law. That is the Beaufort Law. Have you heard about that law? Well, I want us to take a breather for a minute. And when we're back, we're going to look at the Brefort Law, how they managed to bring the Brefort Law in this movie, and where they even found the Brefort Law. Stay with us. We'll be right back.